Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm Sherri Horner, your host at healthfitnessbroadcast.com. Today, my guest is bodybuilding legend Bill Grant. He's Mr. World, Mr. America, and he is a world-renowned fitness expert. And today, we are talking fitness. Welcome back to the show, Bill.
Nice to be here. Ta-da! I'm
So,
here.
we are going to talk about not just fitness, but I'd like to talk about bodybuilding. And if we can take like the novice bodybuilder, or even someone who is just really fit and they just have the thought in their head, like, I think I might want to do that. I might want to move in that direction. So let's take that person who is fairly fit, been working out for a long time, and the thought goes through their mind. Like, let's go back to when you first competed and the thought went through your mind like, I think I can do that.
Right, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, when I first started, I really didn't have any real knowledge about lifting weights. I know I loved it. I watched read the magazines and talked to people about it, but I really didn't have the whereabouts of what to do. I used to buy the magazines. I used to go to a guy's house who had in the attic, he had a whole gym. And I just here and there lifted weights, but I really didn't have the type of routine. I didn't really know how to eat. I really didn't know what kind of a routine if I wanted to build even, more massive muscle. But I did join the YMCA, which was real good. That was a good idea. I used to train in my bedroom too as well. But I think the YMCA was the first real step in really, engaging in a program for training. But even when I went to the Y, it was about maybe a year or so, and I still didn't really make any progress. That was only because it's kind of a science from this bodybuilding stuff, but I didn't know that. I mean, I used to train 5-6 hours a workout. Absolutely, it was overtraining. My body was not responding. It wasn't recovering. But I thought that's what you had to do, until a friend of mine picked up on it. He's a friend of mine now, but I didn't actually know him at all. But he just trained in the gym. He was just one of the guys training there at that time. His name was Randy Coyle, and I think at that time I was like about 15. He was about maybe 24, 25, and I can remember him coming up to me. He told me, he says, "I've been watching your workout for a while, but I think you're kind of like not doing the right thing. You're not getting anywhere." And I wasn't. I couldn't grow. I wasn't making any real progress at all. Real little bit. It's only because I didn't know what I was doing and I was pretty overtrained. This guy came on and he just said, you're trying to get a little bigger, but what you're doing and the way you're doing it is not going to happen. First of all, you're overtraining. You're training way too much, and you're not doing the best exercises that are going to help you grow and get more energy, more muscle, and stronger. And I used to wear sweatpants in the gym. I mean, because I had skinny little legs, All the guys who had skinny little legs, they would wear sweatpants so nobody could see them. But he had a great idea and philosophy about that. He says, "Okay, kid, you need to take off those blankety blank so you can see those little skinny legs." "Yeah, but I don't want anybody to see them." He says, "But the more you look at them, the more you're going to work them because they're out there and they're skinny." But he says there's just a couple of exercises that you really need to do that you could build a lot of mass and gain a lot more weight and get more muscle. Well, a lot of the guys in the gym thought he was an odd person, and he got really just he's got this weird philosophy of bodybuilding, and you really shouldn't waste your time. I says, "Well, I got nothing to lose. I'm not gaining anything anyway. So, it's nothing gained, nothing lost. So why not try it?" So he gave me a program, which I really freaked out on. And I says, I'm not going to make any progress with this. This is not a training program. What is this? 4 exercises. This is, how am I going to get big with 4 exercises? What about the bench presses? What about the barbell curls and all that stuff? He says, "Kid, this is what you're going to do. These are the 4 exercises that he gave me. Squats." So whoever's listening to it at home, these are 4 most important exercises that you can clump up together to gain muscle mass, strength, and endurance. And it's tried true, and tested. I did it. I was so no, like it's not going to work, but I did it because I had no recourse. I wasn't gaining anything anyway. So, I just jumped into it. But everything was 20 reps, and I was like bugging out. And this is what it had to be. It was all supersets. So now everybody sit down, get your pen and paper, and write it down.
Yes.
Because I can tell you right now, if you're a bodybuilder, you're just starting to get into the gym, or a bodybuilder who's been around for a while and really can't make a lot of progress, this program might help you. I did this program, I remember it was during the summer, and it was great. I think from June to maybe about, well, the beginning of July to about September. Absolutely fantastic. Those four exercises now, everybody, write them down. Squats, dips, chins, pullovers. Okay. Now this is the way you superset them and put them together. Now that's very important too, how you line up the exercises that you're doing to make progress. First I did squats. We called them breathing squats. 20 rep sets. A lot of people do 10 and they're half dead. But they would call them breathing squats. He taught me you put the bar on your back, and each rep, you're shrugging your shoulders, but you're breathing in and out. So you're filling those lungs up. This actually helps your traps get bigger. But I'm thinking, how does this relate to getting big shoulders and arms? I'm not doing curls. He said, just do the exercises and shut up. Okay. So I did 20 rep squats. And believe me, after 20 reps, I was like, he says, okay, get out on the bench. Now you're going to do 20 rep pullovers. I said, you got to be kidding me. Oh, well, I was young. Remember now, you actually can alter your bone structure. Your bones are still working, still growing as a kid, 14, 15. And I said, so what's that going to do for me? He says, you're going to build out your rib cage, because I had a real narrow rib cage and I had no chest at all. And I did it. 20 reps, 3 sets, 20 reps. The next exercise, 2 together, was dips and chins. And 20 reps, right after the dips, chins. Now, each one of those exercises were 3 sets, and they weren't just sitting around moping and waiting.
Right.
If I did the squats and did the pullovers, I maybe got a 1-minute rest, started all over again, 3 sets. And it was the same with the dips and the chins. And guess what? I did no abs either. And so I'm saying, wait a minute. I said, are you kidding me? How am I going to grow? Okay, I just kept doing it. He says, just keep working the program, okay? Eat good. You got to eat more protein. Now, see, back in the day, supplements were a little bit different. Our real supplements were a quart of milk, half a gallon of milk with a dozen eggs. Milk and eggs. I mean, that's the basic protein thing. Yes, that's what we did. And then, of course, we had the Joe Weider weight 101 crash weight gain, and it was crash weight gain, trust me. But all right, at any rate, I did this program. Ladies and gentlemen, here we come with the results, and they were just off the hook and fantastic. I gained 25 pounds between July and September, just from that program alone. And I thought it would. I was skeptical. And all the guys in the gym who knew the guy said he was crazy, don't even do it. You're not going to get anything out of it. 25 pounds. That ignited my bodybuilding career. It really did. Wow. Those are the things that really work. Now, you can say all you want, but I got to do bench presses. Don't worry about all of that right now. You're trying to build a foundation. Okay, let's put it this way. If you're building a building or a house, what goes in first? The roof, the walls, or the foundation? Of course, it's the foundation, because without a strong foundation, nothing else is going to stand up. It's saying stands to reason. Your foundation training you have to do. And this was foundation training. And it set off everything that helped me. I mean, that's the best tip I can give anyone. It seems crazy. Absolutely. But today I would tell a guy, don't forget you got to do calves, because I didn't do the calves right away. You got to do some calves. That's
And you
okay.
you mentioned that ignited your bodybuilding career. So I just want to touch base on some of your accomplishments in case there's someone watching that they're not familiar with everything you've done. That was in 1963 when you won your first contest, right?
Hey, wow. No,
Or you
I didn't win.
competed. You
No, I
competed your
competed
first
my first
contest.
one in 19, I think 63 or 64. Was it 64? At any rate,
That was your first
my
contest.
contest was the Mr. High School, New Jersey. And, I wanted to compete. I mean, that was my thing. I mean, I looked at Steve Reeves and, for all of you young guys, you gotta check into your history
Yeah.
about who the guys were before you. Steve Reeves, Reg Park, all these guys. These were the guys that molded everything.
Mhm.
They gave us what we needed to do. And this program I did, I mean, there's a couple of guys I know that actually did that and it worked. But like I said, today you want to still do that same set scheme, but you want to do calves too, and you want to do a little abs. But that's it. But do you know how long that workout's going to take? About 45 minutes. That's it.
Yeah. Just
Uh,
get it done and get out.
yeah, that's it. You want to maximize your time in the gym. Everyone, you hear that? You want to maximize the time in the gym.
Right.
It doesn't mean, a long workout is better. Sometimes less is better. It's very easy to overtrain. And
Hmm.
it's kind of hard to undertrain. If you get in the gym, maximize your time, and by the way, in the new standard, in the new way, throw away the damn phone. No texting in the gym, no talking in the phone. You are there to train. If you
Right.
are going to make progress, that's what you have to do. Now, if I was your trainer and you came into the gym training with me and you start picking up your phone with texting, I'll take that phone and throw it away.
Or even having conversations with other people
Nothing.
working out in the gym. You got
You
to
are
stay
there.
focused on your program, hit it hard, say hello and goodbye to everybody on the way in and out, and that's all.
That's it. You're
Right.
not there into gym to socialize. Maybe after you finish, you can socialize all you want. But when you're training, you always have to excuse yourself. Excuse me, I'm working out. I have to talk to you later. I got to get this workout done. That's part of it. And that's ask any athlete. You bother
Right.
a professional athlete, football player, something on the field when he's, what he might do? He might put a foot up your ear.
Yeah. So fun. Well, I want to
So
tell you, um, if you don't mind, how many contests, because you competed from 63 to 97
yeah,
and 80 something. How many times did you
I,
compete?
you know what? I really don't know how many
80,
contests.
90, 99, 100?
Yes, because back in the day when we were doing it, it was the AAU running it. They had
Right.
contests every weekend. We could go in a contest every weekend, and it was great. It was fun, but bodybuilding back in the day, we weren't really treated with a lot of respect.
Right.
Today, now when you have a bodybuilding show, it's just a bodybuilding show. It's all about us. Back in the day, if you didn't know, we had to come after the weightlifters. They had weightlifting competitions. The AAU was big on weightlifting. They weren't really big on bodybuilding.
Mhm.
We would wait there like 12 hours before we compete. We'd come in for, yeah, we'd come in for, just for prejudging, 10 o'clock. We don't get on stage like 11, 12. We're ready to go to bed. We're ready
Wow.
to go to bed. We're
Wow.
tired. And as bodybuilders back then, if you really wanted to win a competition, you had to build up points for weightlifting. What does that have to do with bodybuilding?
Right.
So this is how it always worked. So if you had more points than the competitor next to you, and you weren't even as good as him, and he was great, if you had more points, you'd win. You'd beat him. How could that work? This is a bodybuilding show. It's not a weightlifting show.
Right.
Oh, it used to really annoy us to the T. But
Yeah.
Dennis Tenorino was absolutely fantastic with the weightlifting. He was just as good as the weightlifter. So there was something about that. No, I'm glad we changed it. But I did do a lot of shows. The Mr. Let's see, High School New Jersey, the North Jersey, the Mr. Jersey, the USA, the Mr. America. I mean, geez, there was a lot of shows down in your area in Trenton. What the heck were they called? Oh, geez. Oh, there's so many names of them. I didn't know them all, but I can remember going down there, myself and John Kemper, who owned Diamond Gym at the time, we went down and competed down there. And John and I ended up winning the show, and we won all the body parts. I won best chest, arms, abs, and back. John won legs and chest, and so the show was over, and you heard the guys. They were pissed.
Bad.
Oh, they were like, those asses got all of them. We should whoop their asses. I said, John, I think it's time for us to leave.
Yeah,
I'm
get some
serious. They were
trophies and get
pissed,
out.
man. We just wiped them out. It's like going down south. So we went down south, and they were mad, man. Oh wow, they had the Mr. Trenton competition, and I can't remember the name that we won,
I
John.
do have a quiz for you. What year did you win Mr. World and what year Mr. America?
1972. Mr. America. Dan Lurie put on that competition. That was the year it pit me and Lou Ferrigno together. Louis was only like about 18 at that time. I was 20 something, and Louis didn't have that all the experience of training. I mean, if it was years later, I probably wouldn't have beat him at all. But it was great. I won. He and I went to London for the Mr. Universe. Dan Lurie, of course, paid for everything. It was really great. I remember riding on Pan Am. Of course, that airline is defunct now. But Louis and I would have went to London together, and his father asked me to watch out for him because, he was young and he hadn't been anywhere. And at this time, I had already been going around the world and stuff, doing stuff. So we got to London. We had the hotel. And if you've ever been to London, have you?
No.
Well, for anybody who's out there is listening, who've been to London, even back in the 70s, 60s, you could understand what I'm talking about. The rooms were like closets. So now, can you just think of that, getting in a closet? Now, two guys, me big and Louis supersize, and it's like, where do we sleep? We had to pull the mattress off the bed, and it rolled up to curl the side of the wall. That's how narrow it was.
Wow.
So Louis slept on the top part, where the base is, and I slept on the floor. Can you imagine? That's how small the hotels were. Then the breakfast back in the day. Now, I love England. Now, the English, don't get mad at me with all of this now, okay? The cuisine wasn't the best.
Now, I've interviewed a few people from London, but
And
I've
I
never
love
been
it. Yeah, right? And they said the same thing. And I love it, but the cuisine is not that good. We got downstairs in the 60s, man. I swear we had powdered eggs, man. It was watery. It was bad. It was real bad.
So that was Mr. America.
That was the Mr. Universe.
Mr. Universe.
That was
Okay.
after I won the America. I went over and Louis beat me. Now Louis got his revenge. Yeah, I got revenge. So Louis beat me at the Universe, but it was great. It was all good, and the experience was just incredible. The Mr. Universe was, I mean, anybody who's had the opportunity to compete in the Mr. Universe competition, you were in something that was very special. It really was. That was it. I mean, anybody who was anybody back in the day won that show. Arnold won it about 7 times. Larry Scott, Steve Reeves, Reg Park won. Frank Zane won. Dennis Tenorino won. Oh, geez. I mean, it was like, I think Casey was there. He might have won. But it was Ken Waller won it. It was unbelievable. That was some. Matter of fact, you know who used to come to that show and have a party afterward? J. Paul Getty. He loved bodybuilding.
Yeah.
He would have a party at his house. But the weirdest thing for him, you go, can I make a call? Yeah. The payphone.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah,
So,
the payphone. You ain't using my phone running up my phone bill.
yeah, you going back to those novice bodybuilders, you had your own Bill Grant Classic contest for several years.
Yes, I did.
What is a good tip that you could give someone starting out that's feeling pretty good and thinking, okay, I'm gonna try my first contest, mentally prepare, because there can be a lot of head games going on.
It always is, but the first thing is somebody really isn't attuned to competing and it might be the first time. What they really need to do is get a trainer, somebody who's really a competitor, who's been in shows, maybe won some shows. That's the guidance you really do have
Maybe
to have.
Bill Grant.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'll have
Well, by the way, I'm
yeah,
a personal trainer. I mean, people can look
billgrant.net
me up
and
if they. I work out in New York. I work in Jersey. I work out of Diamond Gym, Signature Gym in Belleville. Diamond Gym is in Maplewood. I work in New York at Iron and Silk Fitness, but this is a pure personal training center. It's not a membership
but
gym.
you're
It's absolutely great. We have actors, we have models coming in, we have really prominent people there. And the guy who actually owns it used to be Madonna's bodyguard
okay.
for
So it's
years.
for the series. But also Bill can coach anyone over the phone or over Skype.
Right.
So if you're looking for someone to take you to the next level, you can do consultations with Bill over the phone or over Skype. So I will leave your contact information in the description box so anyone
Very
can
good.
contact you if they have a couple of quick questions or if they want to set up some coaching system so you can,
Right.
prepare them. Other than their trainer they're training with in person, you can prepare them for
Right.
contests.
Now, here's another big tip. Before you actually go into it, get ready for a competition, you should go see a couple of them and look at the category that you're going to be in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because once you know who it is, you can figure out exactly what you need to do. But just haphazardly going into a show, not even knowing what your competition is like, you really that's hit and miss. You really want to do your homework. That's basically what we're talking about. Just like I was talking about the other thing, you got to do your homework. And doing your homework means going to a couple of shows, seeing the people in your category, what they're doing, what they look like, and what the judges are looking for. Even ask questions to the judges. What are you looking for as a competitor? So you can get it right from the horse's mouth, from a judge. Now you know exactly what you need to come with.
Good
And
tip.
that's the best advice I could really give you. You've got to do your homework. Don't just, I love the enthusiasm. It's great. But you just can't go in without knowing who your competition is.
Right, right.
You want to know what you have to do. Are you going to be able to be prepared? Are you going to be able to be at that level? Basically, if you've never did it before, you want to go in a novice show, but you still got to go and look and see even what the novice competitors look like. I've seen some competitors their first time, well, they're like absolutely unbelievable.
Right.
So you
And
want to scope it out. You want to know that you've done your homework. So when you get to the show, pre-judging and ready to go, you're not going to be too nervous because you've already done your homework and you know how you have to come in.
good tip. And I think having a conversation with you would be great for anyone in that situation because even though someone has been training, they have a trainer, and they may have the right people around them, but there's a lot of people that when they go home, their family aren't into bodybuilding. Their old friends are not into bodybuilding, and they feel alone and unsupported. So I think Bill would come in great there. So call Bill, and he'll be there for you. He'll have your back. Bill
You're
has your back.
absolutely true about that. You're right about that. You're absolute. My mother didn't give two craps about bodybuilding. You're wasting your time doing that crap. What are you taking those bodybuilding supplements? They're no good. I can sit down. I'm going to tell you. My mother was a nurse, and she was right to the point. I mean, she didn't sugarcoat anything.
Mhm.
She says, them protein powders, if they put shit in a can and tell you you get big muscles, you'd eat that too, wouldn't you?
But,
Oh my God. And we look at her,
but
it's
now,
like,
what did she say when you started bringing home all those trophies?
oh, she hated it. She
No.
did. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Focus on your school. Well, the education was her, man. It's like
Right.
bodybuilding was a waste of time.
Right.
You're eating all the damn food in here. You got to get a job. I can tell you,
But
kids, they made me get a part-time job when I was a kid because they'd come home from work. The eggs are all gone. The milk's
because
all
you're eating
gone.
all the
Oh no, no, that's done, dude. Kid, you
Oh,
got to
that
get a
is too
part-time
funny.
job. So
That's too funny.
I got a job at the local car wash. I knew the guy. His name was Andy, and he had a car wash right next to pizzeria that he had, and it was really good. People back then in the 60s, $1.20 an hour was not a lot of money, but it was back in the day because, I mean, the White Castle was across the street, 10 cents for a hamburger, a quarter for a movie. So it was everything was relative. But yes, and those things you said about that, you can be left in the cold and left alone
Right.
with the bodybuilding because the family's not interested in it, your other friends aren't interested in it. So you need to be talking to people that are going to keep you that boost, give you that boost to keep going. This is really, it's a rough road trying to train.
Right.
It really is. You really have to stay focused.
Yeah.
I
So I want
mean,
to
there's no
encourage everyone to contact you, because he's a wealth of information. And not only is he a bodybuilding legend, but you've had your own TV show, radio show. You've just been in everything. You had training programs that you've done, manuals, and he knows a lot. So,
You know what,
um,
Sherry? I have mostly all of my television shows from Fit for Life. I should start putting it up online so all you guys out there
mhm.
could see it. I even
and
have my radio show
And there are some clips on his website, billgrant.net. There's old school bodybuilding clips, one for
right.
arms, abs, and
Exactly.
legs.
Right,
So
right.
y'all can check those out. Check
Yeah,
those out.
I want to check that out, but I got to get my guy in Italy who actually does my website. So I need to
Update
put
it.
on my radio shows and the TV shows. I
Right.
did Fit. It was called Fit for Life,
Yeah,
and
those would
that
be
was a
great to
great
watch
show.
too.
It
Yeah.
wasn't totally about
That
body.
information never dies. It's always
It's
relevant.
and it's all relevant. It's all relevant. I used to I had a doctor on. We talked about women and pregnant and exercise. I wanted to deal with issues that the average person would could deal with. The bodybuilders all uh, look, but I mean, if I geared it directly to just bodybuilding, I hate to say we wouldn't have a lot of viewers. But I did take times where I had specific bodybuilders come on and we talked nothing about bodybuilding because everything about bodybuilding because there's a lot of people out there that want those bodybuilding tips even though they're not competing and they don't want to really look like us but they want some
Right.
tips on how to exercise. So I wanted to throw that out there, but I wanted a real bodybuilder to show it to them, and I think that was the only way you could do it. If you're going to show people bodybuilding movements, let's put the ones on that actually do it,
Right.
and then you're going to get some good information.
Okay.
That's
Well,
what it's all about. The
it's time
information.
for us to go. I hate to end this
Me
conversation
too.
because we
Now
could talk
we're into
forever.
it. Now,
But before we go,
before we go, let me show you
show
something.
Sherri your shoe. I want to see your favorite shoe and why you like it.
Now, everybody out there, don't think I'm weird showing the shoe.
Everybody does it. I make everyone show me their shoe.
Here is my shoe.
Nice. Was
Now,
that Reebok?
I gotta tell you the history of this shoe. Though. I've had this shoe. Look at it. I've had this shoe for years. I loved it when I first bought this shoe. I went to Diamond Gym and I mean, they look better than this now, but they loved this shoe. Brant, this is some shoe. But I wanted something fancy, something that wasn't like the regular,
Mhm.
shoe. So I bought this one. And today, this is still the
Is
shoe
that a
that I
Nike or Reebok? That's a
no,
Reebok.
this is a Reebok.
Yeah.
And this is the shoe I wear constantly at the gym, and it's a nice shoe.
Yeah.
And Reebok, if you're out there,
I think a Reebok.
well,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Show
saying.
us the shoe, Reebok. Now,
Maybe you can see me a pair of Reeboks.
I haven't shown a Reebok shoe in a long time, so I'm gonna have to get more Reeboks.
Reebok.
But
Here I am. I can
today,
sell you a
yes,
lot of shoes.
we love Reebok. I do love Reebok, but I haven't shown a Reebok shoe in a while. So, but today I have Asics. Now I've been
Asics.
hooked on
That's a
Asics. I love the
great brand.
pink Asics. Yeah, I love Asics. What can I say? I show Asics a lot because I have several pair of Asics, and
Right.
these are just my cross trainers that I wear for everything but running. So,
Wow.
because I have an Asics for running too. But that's my shoe for today. And I want to thank you so much for all your great information and inspiration for those novice bodybuilders. And everyone, if you like this information, share it and comment. If you are a bodybuilder, if you've competed in one of Bill Grant's contests, the Bill Grant Classic they used to have, and if you're getting ready for contesting, comment and let us know what your situation is. And subscribe. Thank you so much, Bill. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Again, share this video and subscribe.
Well,
Appreciate it. Thank
thanks, Sherri. It's great to be here, and it's always a good time when we talk.
you.
And
Yeah,
I'm sorry we have to go now, but we'll be back with another chapter.
that's right. That's right. We have many, many more things to talk about. Thanks a lot, Bill. Thanks.
Life and Times of Bill Grant.
Yeah.
We'll be back.